everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be replanting a couple of my house plants into a nice chunky aroid mix. If you look down here, I've got a Hoya plant, which is pretty much outgrowing its pot here, you can see. So I'm going to replant that into something just slightly bigger because Hoyas like to be kind of in a tighter pot. And then I have a Syngonium here, which isn't doing very well. It's also got a root coming out the bottom. So I'm going to replace the soil with a new mix that I'm going to try, called an aroid mix. Now the aroids are a type of plant that grow in jungles normally. So what we want to do is mimic their naturally growing location soil. So what I've got here is some regular potting mix, just called potting soil, general purpose, all purpose that you'd find in any garden center or hardware store. I'm going to be mixing in some worm castings because these like to have a rich soil. This provides your nutrition and fertilizing. And then we're going to add in some perlite and some fir bark, which is generally marketed as orchid media. And that helps to loosen it up because these roots need air circulation and they need to be moist, but they don't like to be wet. So we need good drainage and good air circulation, which is this regular soil is going to be too dense all on its own. So I'm going to try this recipe here. It's like a 1, 2, 3, 4 mix. I'm going to do 1 part of worm castings. So I've just got my little cup here for measuring. I'm going to put 1 cup of this, and as you can see, worm castings are just what this sounds like. Worm poop, composted. It's great for plants, good nutrition. So we've got 1 part of that. We need 2 parts potting mix. So I'm going to put 2 cups, and I think my bowl is going to be too small, but let's see. 2 parts of this. And I'm going to need 3 parts of perlite. This is good for aeration. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 parts of orchid bark. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see where this is going. This is going to be a nice chunky mix for the roots to be able to grab onto. There's nutrition in there from the worm castings, and it's going to be very well drained. The plants should be happy. I'm hoping this is going to spruce up my Syngonium over here. Oh, it smells so good with that fir bark. All right, so we're going to be left with something like this. Nice and airy. It's really dry. I'm going to have to water it in, of course, but you can see how nicely the water will flow out of there, but still it'll have enough peat in there to retain moisture too, but it's not going to be letting it sit in water. All right, so there's my mix. Let's see what this guy looks like inside. I'm just going to squeeze my pot, gently ease him out without breaking the roots if I can. Oh, so he's not too terribly bad, but I think he'll still appreciate some new soil. Otherwise, pretty root bound. What I'm just doing is loosening up the roots. And I think I'm just going up 1 size. This size should do it just nicely. Just going to put some at the bottom. See if that's going to be deep enough. Yep, just right. And just got to tuck him in. And then I'm going to water him well. Let it drain. And I'm going to do the same for the Syngonium. hard to get underneath there. Shake it around. Make sure there's no big air pockets. And that soil will settle down after I've got it watered too. Okay. All right, so there we go. There's my Hoya. He should be a little happier in there. I'll water him in after I have a look at this guy. He's doing pretty poorly. He's got brown splotches on him. His leaves are kind of tattered looking. But he is trying to grow. So let me see what his roots look like. See how compacted the soil looks? He's maybe not getting quite enough air to his roots. Wow, look at that. That's it. All that dirt. How long is this going to go? No wonder he's doing poorly. He's got barely any roots to him. That's the one that's sticking out the bottom. Interesting. Would you look at that? Well, let's see what we can do with him. I'm just going to use the same pot because obviously it's a good size. Or I might even make him a little smaller. Let's see what this looks like in here. Oh no, that's going to be too small. All right, so I'll put in my Aroid mix, and we're just going to kind of wind him around in here. So there's food in here from the worm castings. However, I will still lightly fertilize these as normal with all-purpose house plant fertilizer. Okay, once these are settled in, I will give you an update and see if they're doing any better with this new Aroid soil that I'm trying out. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.